just about jumped out of my skin, man. I was walking into the garage and I was just kind of like looking down, making my way over to the squat rack, and then I saw what I thought was a snake. Scared the living daylights out of me. For a split second, I was jumping back and thinking, the hell am I going to do in that split second? And then I saw the little legs of his moving around. And then I calmed down because I realized it was a lizard. And then, I mean, I'm not an expert in these things at all, but it looked as though he was one of those blue tongue lizards, like with the patterning on the body. So then I just kind of walked around him. He ran away, and hid wherever he was hiding all this time. And I went on my way of training and kept kind of peeking over to see how he's going. He just kept looking at me. Now, my understanding is that these lizards, these blue tongue lizards, these garden lizards, are actually really, really good to have in your garden. They take care of a lot of the pests. They eat all of those bugs that we don't want. So I didn't chase him. I didn't do anything. I just let him have it. There's a little ramp in my garage where I guess the previous owner was driving his car in and out. A bit of a difference in levels between the two slabs of concrete. There's like a little metal ramp, so he's kind of crawled in underneath there and he's chilling out there. So I guess I'll just let him chill out. As long as he's not poisonous, as long as he's not danger to the kids or anything like that, I'm happy. Now, I did see a lizard probably last year on the other side of the house in like the shrubs at the front. And then I've not seen, maybe it's a different one, maybe it's the same one. I've not seen a lizard or anything like that for a long time, over a year. And then he pops up right next to the damn weights. Scared the living hell out of me. But I don't know whether it was the adrenaline rush or what, but I ended up hitting a power snatch PR today. I hit 75 kilos. Kind of moved all right. I don't know. Like, I'm still way, way, way off on all of the technique. I feel like I'm making contact in the wrong part of my leg. It should be in the hip crease, but I'm still kind of, I don't know why. I feel more comfortable hitting on my thighs. And I'm not doing anything close to like a full snatch. I'm still kind of basically standing up while I'm doing this. But I'm getting more comfortable with it. So it seems as though every time I hit a clean or a snatch PR, the bench press also kind of goes up another level. So it'll be interesting to see whether I can, transfer some of that strength over to the bench press in some way. But today was humid as all hell, man. Like humidity of 1,000,000,000. I felt like I was in water, just dripping with sweat. But I got through the workout. I did a whole bunch of snatching. I think I did like 5 sets of the 40s, 3 sets of the 60s. Then I went to 70 and then 75. By the time I got to the cleans, 120 moved all right, but I tried to hit 130 on the clean. And I don't know, man, I just chicken out sometimes, man. I feel like I'm scared to get underneath it. Even though a lot of you guys are telling me that I'm getting quite high, the bar's actually very high. I should be able to get underneath it. Something about me doesn't want to, dip underneath, have the confidence to get underneath. I don't know. If I was in like a gym specializing on ollie lifting and I had like an acre around me, maybe I would kind of have more courage to get underneath, but I'm still kind of like risk averse. I don't want to jump underneath, lose my balance, roll backwards, that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to be YOLOing it, with these lifts at all. Essentially, these lifts are basically at this point a tool for me to learn something, that is wholesome, that is full body. I don't think it gets better than this. So I'm not, crazy about it. It's a tool for me to basically progress the whole jumping idea. That's kind of what this originated from. A lot of guys are saying, Ivan, you're going too quickly with these lifts. In my mind, man, like the way I think about it, it's like I'm not even sure whether I want to be an Olympic weightlifter. I'm just using their movements as a tool to get better at jumping. Not necessarily that I want to get better at snatching or cleans. It's just like I've come from a different angle. I'm not a weightlifter. I'm just using it as a tool. Obviously, if I had ambitions to go competition and get the best total for Ollie lifting. Obviously, there's a very proven way of going about it. Spend freaking years with the broomstick and whatever, but I'm not going to do that like that. I'm not driven like that. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very fun, but it's fun because I'm doing the actual thing. I'm actually pushing my body with the actual thing. Even though it might be costing me time or whatever, it's actually fun for me. And if you give me a broomstick and you tell me, here's who do this for 6 months, I ain't doing that. And what's better, me doing it like this or me not doing it at all and not even being part of the sport? So that's kind of how I look at it. That's how I looked at basketball. That's how I look. Like when you start playing basketball or soccer, even though the technical requirements are not the same, but it's like you don't go on the basketball court and start working on your freaking left hand dribble. No, man. Get out of here, dude. That's not fun. I'll just walk away. I'm not going to do that. You go on and you're playing with your mates and you kind of survive. You kind of try and beat your mate as best you can. And then when you get serious, maybe after a year or two of playing it with your friends, then maybe you join a club or even you play with school basketball and maybe you play socially, like social competitions. And then eventually, if you're really, really keen, then you get proper coaching, you join a club. That's how I see stuff. Like, we're not robots. We're not these freaking machines that we can just learn, the most optimal way. That's that word again, optimal. Freaking hate it. There needs to be a love component, man, because ultimately, if you develop a love for something, that's 90% of the battle, in my opinion. That means you're going to be rocking up and putting in the yards. Somebody that has love and the work ethic will do better than somebody who's got the right technique but half-assing it in training. It's about the work. And for me, if I love something, I'll work for it. Freaking, I'll do 4 years in a row, but if I love it, right? That's how it is. And this is something that I continuously talk about. If you love something and you do it in a way where it allows you to love something, that is better than you doing it in the most optimal way and then dropping it after 6 months or after 3 months or after a week or whatever. You see it all the time, man. People are like, this is the best training program of all time. And then they don't do it. No, man, you need to work out exactly what's going to keep you coming back, because you coming back is the number one obstacle, man. And that's how I look at it. Simple as that. I do it for the love of it. It's a hobby of mine to stay fit, to kind of do all this stuff. I've got goals to squat, to bench, and deadlift, all these numbers that I've kind of set. Many, many moons ago, before I even knew what the hell was going on, I set these arbitrary numbers and I'm kind of chasing them. But I'm not, completely just jumping to the goal and everything else goes to shit. No, it's the process. I want to be enjoying the journey. And that's the difference between me and a freaking somebody that's doing it purely for the goals. Because if I was just purely for the goals, guess what I'll be doing right now? I'll be probably taking the drugs. I'll probably be doing a different job. I'll probably be changing all sorts of different things if all I wanted to do is freaking just squat the 300. That is not the case. My life, I know you don't know me because you don't see me 24/7, but my life is a bit more complex than just the squat every day, dude. There's a lot more things going on. What I portray in these videos is a snippet of what I have chosen to share, which is a squat everyday journey. And when I talk about it, I'm real about it. That's exactly kind of the hat I wear when I'm talking about this stuff. But it's not all goals, no matter what. It's not no matter what. There's many, many, many things that do matter more. And one of those things for me is I want to be able to do this for a long time and have fun with it. I don't want to burn all the freaking candles from both ends because this is what I want to do. No, it needs to be something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And me doing it in some way that a coach somewhere around the world said, no, for me, it's a journey. It's an exploration. I want to test all these different things. I want to learn all these different things. And at the end of it, after the end of 20, 30 years, whenever I decide to kind of step back and sit down and review everything that I've done, not that I'm going to squat every day for 20 years, but I'll sit back and I'm like, I've made many mistakes, and those very mistakes that I made taught me the most. That's the key. I'm not just being steered by somebody else's mind. No, I'm steering this ship by myself. And that to me is a very, very critical part in all of this. That's how I look at it. I'm not married to any genre of sports. I'm just Ivan, and this is the journey, and this is the channel where I portray the journey that I'm on. Squatting is very much the front and center, and there's all these different things moving around it. Exploring what the body is made of, what the human anatomy likes to do, and how to express some of these things I want to express in terms of performance, and then eventually we'll get somewhere. But, you know, that's kind of part of the journey. The snatching and Olympic weightlifting as general is a very, very technical sport. It's very, very technical. And once again, I'm loving it. And the fact that I'm loving it, I'm doing it every single day. I'm doing it every single day, man. And I've got high hopes that I will be able to learn and I'll be able to progress this thing this year. If I do 365 days of snatching and cleaning every day, I like my chances, because the barrier here is technique. And if I just keep on snatching 40 kilos over and over and over again, eventually it's going to get better and better and better. Sure, if even Ivan Abajev was in my room telling me exactly what's up, I would have better chances. But he's not. And that doesn't turn me off, to be honest with me. Even if I'm taking the long journey around, that doesn't turn me off. A lot of the time, the longer journey is the more scenic journey anyway. And that's a story to be told. Why not tell it? Why not live it? That's me. I'm not excited about efficiency in optimal states. No, man. I'm just interested in love and enjoyment. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.